Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. I hope you're all having a great weekend, and I'm here to bring you some information that you might have already seen, or maybe you haven't. Some of the content creators from the Raid Creator Program have unveiled to us now that there is going to be a Deck of Fates event that is going to be starting early on in the week. And we need to talk about this because, unfortunately, and I'm actually very, very surprised that this is the case, that there is no guaranteed champion related to this. I mean, we saw what kind of characters that came out, from this patch, and a lot of it was kind of Argonites related. There's two more legendaries, Fimo and Nosen from the Argonites faction, and I forget there was a Lizardman guy as well that came out in this faction as well. Cost of two skins. I guess maybe I thought that there was a chance that there could have been a guaranteed in one of these. It seems like there's not, though, so we need to talk about whether or not this is a quote unquote deck of baits or not. I have actually been holding my souls for some time. I may end up pulling this, but mostly because I'm really itching to get some more red stars, but we'll talk about that. Now, before we get started with the rest of the video, though, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using that QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Thol and Falbeard, and these great epics, Stagnite, Rector Drath, and Farrakhan the Fat at level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget to get this Void Legendary Support Champion to Hanorac's Amazing. All you got to do is use the promo code Desert Queen in the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, so let's talk about the news here. So Monday, April the 13th, which is just 2 days away, we're planning to launch two events simultaneously. I mean, is it really an event? An awaken, I guess it's an event, but it's not the, an event is the Deck of Fates, right? We're planning to launch an awakening boost. So they're giving 2x on 5 and 6-star perfect souls from mortal and immortal soul stones. So that is going to be interesting, I suppose, right? Although not surprising. They often do this for the crappier ones. They don't always do that for the proper, like, guaranteed champion Deck of Fates, but so I have 151 mortal soul stones and 52 immortal soul stones. Now, because there's no character on the line here, I don't feel particularly compelled to pull these immortals, but I might pull some of them. I have like two full Deck of Fates worth of points sitting here between my mortals, immortals, and my 9 Eternals. Frankly, if I just kept my Eternals, I could probably almost clear a guaranteed champion Deck of Fates in some time. I skipped the Basim Deck of Fates that happened. When was that? Like 2 months ago now, maybe a month and a half ago. And so I have a lot of souls saved up. I have not seriously pulled any since Hilvy in December. It's a long time ago, actually. So I could use some upgrades, right? I've gotten some more characters that I could definitely use some Red Star Souls for. Now, to get a 5 and a 6, it's 2.25% on a mortal, right? They're doubling that, so it's going to be about 4.5%. Doubling it on immortals as well, so you're going from 18% to 36% at least to a 5 and a 6. So that's actually pretty good. Now, of course, it's broken down by rarities, which is not super great. The chances of like a legendary or mythical on a mortal is like 9.5%. 21% is a little bit better on a mortal soulstone. So I may do this. There's a bunch of characters who I don't have any red stars for that I could really use them for. But even across like my new mythicals that I've received, we have Arn the White. I have absolutely nothing for, so that would be really nice. And some other legendaries, which unfortunately I can't. I can't put on the wish list more than 3 characters, but there's definitely other characters which I wish I had a little bit more of. Clayzag was someone that I have 2, but I would love to have more of that. Lots of characters that I could use on my roster. Titus, I have none. Right, I think I put him in. Did I put him in my? I think I put him in my feature now. But I've got Chris the Ageless, 0. Athorian is 0. I think I put him on my wish list though. And there's a lot of characters in here that I could use some additional red stars for. So this is something that I am a little bit interested in for. But for the vast majority of players, I think that it is going to be a quote unquote deck of baits, because if you're a player, especially a newer player or someone who does not have a lot of souls to begin with, I think it's still your best bet to kind of hold on to these for a future guaranteed champion event so that you can get that legendary that comes out with these. Usually, they're supposed to give one of these guaranteed champion events like every. I mean, I guess it hasn't been long enough since Basim, maybe, right? And that's what I was kind of expecting them to do, but it seems that they are not going that way. So Yeah, they're launching a Deck of Fates event here. It's gonna be a 4-day event, by the way, so it's gonna be like Monday through Friday because there was a huge gap in the calendar as well. We'll have a chance to get glyphs of different rarities and other valuable goods. See, this stuff doesn't. This with speed glyphs that's fine, but like I don't know, it's not it is valuable, but not like crazy. Earn points by summoning souls from soul stones. You actually get points on this Deck of Fates for summoning champions and getting so there's a lot of ways actually. They're allowing you to pull champions from shards and grinding artifacts and accessories. So you don't have to do this exclusively from soul stones. However, it's really weird because they're also it's not there's no champion attached to this like at all, and so it seems to be like a break in between the fusions, I suppose, here for this one. There's going to be some rares, epics, legendary glyphs hidden under the chests, right? And so you will be able to pin card rarities, that's behind my head here, during this Deck of Fates. So how valuable is that is going to depend on how much you have stashed away. I do want to let people know, and I'll bring up my calculator actually here really quickly. But normally for these Deck of Fates, I'm not 100% sure, but normally mortals go for 90 points instead of 70 for a guaranteed champion event. So you will get some more value out of this. Like if I pulled all of mine, oops, wrong, 150, let's just say 150, I'll get 13,500. A Deck of Fates requires 40,000 to complete. I believe the Immortals should be valued at 900 as well, so how much points do I have there? Yeah, I have more than enough Immortals to clear a Deck of Fate. So if I really wanted to go balls to the wall with this 2x and just try to get some better characters, this would be the time for me to do it, right? Because with the I almost have like 10 Eternal Soul Stones. So, that would be almost enough on their own to clear an event, clear a Deck of Fates that had a champion involved. So I may actually pull for this, but I'm not really expecting to get a whole lot of additional resources outside of the red stars that I hopefully maybe are some upgrades for my roster, which I could desperately need because I haven't really, it's been like 4 months since I've seriously pulled any decent perfect souls. So that is something that I'm looking forward to doing. But I think for everyone else who is not in positions like myself, this is probably a skip for you. And I'm not even saying might. It probably is a skip for you. You probably should not engage in this event if it is going to ruin your chances of doing a Deck of Fates down the road that is going to contain a guaranteed champion, because that will still have more value at the end of the day. And it's a bit unfortunate that a lot of things when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends, you're going to do better by hoarding and waiting for the right time, right? There is a saying that Raid Shadow Legends is called wait Shadow Legends, because there's a reason behind that, because you want to make sure that you have the resources when you need them for the events that are important to you. And this one probably is not it, but I want to talk about it anyways and let people know about what's going on in Raid Shadow Legends. Let me know if this is something that you're going to be engaging with or not. For me, I probably will do a video for it. I probably will do a video on Monday about this, and I will see if I get anything good, and fingers crossed, maybe I might. That's it for me, though. And of course, don't forget QR code, blah, 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 Raid CTA, Stagnite, Rector Drath, Farrakhan the Fad, right? And to Hanorak, because this is the thing you don't want to really miss out on. So, Amazing Void, support champion to Hanorak. Use the promo code Desert Queen in the first 48 hours of brand new account. Okay, have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.